Good evening, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. We come to you not very far off from Parliament, where just a short while back, the winter session in Parliament is winding down with fireworks. What was witnessed today was a face-off between the Home Minister of the country, Amit Shah, as well as the Leader of Opposition, Rahul Gandhi, all over the contentious issue of SIR. It played out in Lok Sabha. You had the Home Minister Amit Shah today, who spoke on electoral reforms. The core issue was, of course, the special intensive role revision, and this intense face-off between both Amit Shah and Rahul Gandhi, adding high drama to the Lok Sabha proceedings. The clash erupted when the House was debating electoral reforms. Gandhi interrupted Shah's speech to challenge him to debate on alleged vote theft raised during recent press conferences. As Shah continued speaking, Gandhi pressed him to address those allegations directly. Amit Shah then shot back, saying Rahul Gandhi could not dictate the content or order of his speech. He has to learn to be patient. I will decide what to speak and in what order, the Home Minister said. Amit Shah went on to accuse the opposition of attempting to protect infiltrators, prompting the entire opposition then to stage a walkout from the House.
वोट चोरी किसको कहते हैं वो मैं बताना चाहता हूं, और हमारे यहाँ कुछ परिवार ऐसे हैं जो पूछते नहीं वोट चोरी करते।
अच्छा बोलिए आप। हाँ बोले आप बोले। हाँ बोले आप बोले।
स्पीकर सर, मेरा कल एक सवाल था जो हिंदुस्तान के इतिहास में पहली बार डिसीजन लिया गया कि इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स को फुल फुल इम्यूनिटी दी जाएगी।
ठीक है, ये है ना, इसका जवाब
इसका पीछ मैं खत्म नहीं किया सर। इसके पीछे जो थिंकिंग थी वो हमें सबसे पहले बताएं।
ठीक है।
दूसरी बात, नहीं हरियाणा की जहां इन्होंने बात की, इन्होंने एक उदाहरण लिया, वहां पर अनेक उदाहरण हैं।
वो भी आपने दिया था ना,
19
वो भी आपने दिया था, इसलिए दिया वो भी।
19 लाख वहां पे फेक लोग
वो उदाहरण आपने दिया था, इसलिए उसका जवाब दिया।
और ये भी हमें बता दीजिए, एक्चुअली लेट अस हैव अ डिबेट ऑन माय प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस। लेट अस गो, let us have very good idea, let us have a debate on my press conference. Amit Shah ji, I challenge you to have a debate on the three press conferences.
Please
ठीक है, बैठ जाइए।
माननीय, प्लीज माननीय, आपने बात की थी, प्लीज।
उत्तर प्रदेश में और हरियाणा में दोनों चुनाव में वोट कैसे
माननीय, प्लीज
ये भी जवाब दे दीजिए।
माननीय गृह मंत्री जी।
मान्यवर, पहली बात मैं स्पष्ट करना चाहता हूं, मैं 30 साल से विधानसभा और संसद में जनप्रतिनिधि के रूप में चुनकर आता हूं। मुझे लंबा अनुभव है संसदीय प्रणाली का। विपक्ष के नेता महोदय कहते हैं कि पहले मेरी बात का आप जवाब दीजिए, मैं सुनना चाहता हूं। आपकी मुनसफी से संसद नहीं चलेगी। मेरे आप बोलने का क्रम मैं तय करूंगा, इस तरह से नहीं चलेगी संसद। मान्यवर, उनको धैर्य रखना चाहिए, मेरा जवाब सुनने का। इनकी एक एक बात का जवाब मैं दूंगा, मगर मेरे भाषण का क्रम वो तय नहीं कर सकते, मैं करूंगा, क्योंकि मैं बोल रहा हूं।
गृह मंत्री, एक मिनट गृह मंत्री, क्या गलत बोला उन्होंने यही बोला, आपने जो बात उठाई है मुझे कब बोलना है मैं तय करूंगा, यही बोला ना। उसमें क्यों उत्तेजित हो रहे हो आप? हाँ, आपके 2-2 मिनट में खड़े होने से थोड़ी जवाब देते रहेंगे। नो माननीय गृह मंत्री, नहीं हो, मैं आपको फिर मौका दूंगा, आपको। आप बोलिए। हाँ बोलिए
सर, ये
बोलिए।
आपने अगर अमित शाह जी का रिस्पॉन्स देखा तो ये कंप्लीटली डिफेंसिव रिस्पॉन्स है, ये घबराया हुआ रिस्पॉन्स है, ये डरा हुआ रिस्पॉन्स है।
अब सुनिए पूरी बात, प्लीज मानिए। नो,
सच्चा रिस्पॉन्स नहीं है।
माननीय गृह मंत्री जी,
मान्यवर आपके चेहरे पर बैठो मान्यवर आपके चेहरे पर चिंता की लकीरें मैं देख रहा हूं कि मैं क्या बोलूंगा। मैं उनके उकसावे में नहीं आऊंगा, मैं मेरे विषय पर बोलूंगा।
All right, a heated face-off where the winter session comes into question. It is winding down, just a few days left for the winter session to come to a close. It was a short winter session, but it's going down, viewers, with fireworks. This was inside the parliament, right outside. Rahul Gandhi was questioned on interrupting the Home Minister's speech. So was Priyanka Gandhi. Listen in.
जो हमने पॉइंट्स रखे हैं उसका जवाब नहीं दिया, एक एग्जांपल लेकर बोल रहे हैं, तो इट इज अ कंप्लीटली डिफेंसिव रिस्पांस। आपने उनका चेहरा तो देखा होगा। नहीं, देखिए मैंने 2-3 चीज़ें कही थी। मैंने कहा था ट्रांसपेरेंट वोटर लिस्ट सबको दीजिए, उसके बारे में एक शब्द नहीं बोला। मैंने कहा कि ईवीएम का आर्किटेक्चर सबको दे दीजिए, उसके बारे में एक शब्द नहीं कहा। मैंने कहा था कि बीजेपी के नेता हरियाणा में और बिहार में वोट दे रहे हैं, उसके बारे में नहीं कहा। मेरे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में सॉलिड प्रूफ है, उसके बारे में कुछ बोला नहीं।
इसको कैसे देखते हैं? 1 घंटे के लिए सिर्फ इन्होंने सफाई ही दी है कि इन्होंने वोट चोरी नहीं की। आप बताइए सफाई कौन देता है इतनी लंबी?
जी उन्होंने ये बोला कि आप लोगों ने मांगा लोकसभा में।
कोई निर्दोष, जब निर्दोष होता है तो कोई इतनी लंबी सफाई देता है?
इसको कैसे देखते हैं?
1 घंटे के लिए सिर्फ इन्होंने सफाई ही दी है कि इन्होंने वोट चोरी नहीं की। आप बताइए सफाई कौन देता है इतनी लंबी?
जी उन्होंने ये बोला कि आप लोगों ने मांगा
लोकसभा में। कोई निर्दोष, जब निर्दोष होता है तो कोई इतनी लंबी सफाई देता है?
Bring in my colleague Rahul Gautam, who covers the parliament very closely, joining us. Rahul, what initially started off with a tepid winter session, the last few days has seen speeches after speeches and fireworks today between the leader of opposition and Amit Shah.
Well, Preeti, what we saw today, the screenplay for the same was written yesterday only for two prime reasons. A, Amit Shah was present in Lok Sabha when Rahul Gandhi was speaking on electoral reforms, and B, at that point of time also, the opposition camp accused the chair, Lok Sabha Speaker, of being biased towards Rahul Gandhi, and that's why you saw, today Amit Shah coming out launching, a full frontal attack on opposition camp. However, Congress members, including Rahul Gandhi, they are saying that there was not much to offer in terms of, the questions that were raised by Rahul Gandhi, particularly, seeking machine-readable rolls, seeking access to the electronic voting machines, asking why immunity has been given to, chief election commissioners. Now, these are the questions that Congress believe were pertinent questions that needs to be asked by the Treasury benches. But they believe that, that was absolutely missing from Amit Shah's speech. And also they are accusing the chair, Lok Sabha Speaker, Mr. Om Birla, of being biased towards Rahul Gandhi, saying that he was not allowed to intervene, he was not allowed to speak when Amit Shah and other members were speaking. So clearly it seemed that, as you rightly pointed out, it seemed that we are heading, as we're heading towards the end of the session, it's only getting more, more fiery, more stormy, and it seemed that...
So you're right there, Rahul, because the opposition has staged a walkout where the Treasury benches is concerned after that. But let's just go back once again, listen in to what transpired. Like I said, viewers, 2 days before the Parliament winter session comes to a close. Listen in.
वोट चोरी किसको कहते हैं वो मैं बताना चाहता हूं, और हमारे यहाँ कुछ परिवार ऐसे हैं जो पुश्ते नहीं वोट चोरी करते।
अच्छा बोलिए आप। हाँ बोले आप बोले। हाँ बोले आप बोले।
स्पीकर सर, मेरा कल एक सवाल था जो हिंदुस्तान के इतिहास में पहली बार डिसीजन लिया गया कि इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स को फुल फुल इम्यूनिटी दी जाएगी।
ठीक है, ये है ना, इसका जवाब
इसका पीठ में खत्म नहीं किया सर। इसके पीछे जो थिंकिंग थी वो हमें सबसे पहले बताएं।
ठीक है।
दूसरी बात, नहीं, हरियाणा की जहां इन्होंने बात की, इन्होंने एक उदाहरण लिया, वहां पर अनेक उदाहरण हैं।
वो भी आपने दिया था ना,
19
वो भी आपने दिया था, इसलिए दिया वो भी
19 लाख वहां पे फेक लोग,
वो उदाहरण आपने दिया था, इसलिए उसका जवाब दिया।
और ये भी हमें बता दीजिए, एक्चुअली लेट अस हैव अ डिबेट ऑन माय प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस। लेट अस गो, let us have very good idea, let us have a debate on my press conferences. Amit Shah ji, I challenge you to have a debate on the 3 press conferences.
Please.
ठीक है, बैठ जाइए, बैठ जाइए।
माननीय, प्लीज माननीय, आपने बात की थी, प्लीज।
उत्तर प्रदेश में और हरियाणा में दोनों चुनाव में वोट कैसे दे रहे हैं,
प्लीज
ये भी जवाब दे दीजिए।
माननीय गृह मंत्री जी।
मान्यवर, पहली बात मैं स्पष्ट करना चाहता हूं, मैं 30 साल से विधानसभा और संसद में जनप्रतिनिधि के रूप में चुनकर आता हूं। मुझे लंबा अनुभव है संसदीय प्रणाली का। विपक्ष के नेता महोदय कहते हैं कि पहले मेरी बात का आप जवाब दीजिए, मैं सुनना चाहता हूं। आपकी मुनसफी से संसद नहीं चलेगी, मेरे यहाँ बोलने का क्रम मैं तय करूंगा, इस तरह से नहीं चलेगी संसद। मान्यवर, उनको धैर्य रखना चाहिए, मेरा जवाब सुनने का। इनकी एक एक बात का जवाब मैं दूंगा, मगर मेरे भाषण का क्रम वो तय नहीं कर सकते, मैं करूंगा, क्योंकि मैं बोल रहा हूं।
एक मिनट गृह मंत्री, क्या गलत बोला उन्होंने यही बोला, आपने जो बात उठाई है मुझे कब बोलना है मैं तय करूंगा, यही बोला ना, उसमें क्यों उत्तेजित हो रहे हो आप? हाँ, आपके 2-2 मिनट में खड़े होने से थोड़ी जवाब देते रहेंगे। नो, माननीय गृह मंत्री, नहीं होगा। मैं आपको फिर मौका दूंगा, आपको। हाँ बोलिए, बोलिए
सर। ये
बोलिए।
आपने अगर अमित शाह जी का रिस्पॉन्स देखा तो ये completely defensive.
All right, viewers. So this was the time when the opposition staged a walkout with saying that the speaker was partial where Amit Shah and the Treasury benches were concerned. All right, with that, a lot has gone on in Parliament over the course of the last 1 week with what went down today. Speaking of Chori, speaking of SIR, of electoral reforms debate, and also whether or not a privilege motion will be moved against her, and does she care? Renuka Chowdhury, Rajya Sabha MP Congress, in conversation with me. Ms. Renuka Chowdhury, welcome to India today. Thank you for taking the time out. It's a busy winter session where Parliament is concerned. As we speak, there are heated debates going on where Parliament comes into question. But to reflect, Ms. Chowdhury, I'm somebody who's been multiple times a Rajya Sabha MP. You are currently a senior Rajya Sabha
I was
MP.
also Lok Sabha.
You were also twice Lok Sabha. You've also been the Women and Child Development Minister. You've also been very often in the crosshairs of the Treasury benches where the Parliament is concerned. And we are coming off and meeting you at a time where, I don't know if it's happening, you tell me, is there going to be a privilege motion moved against you for calling the MPs in Parliament what you referred to as dogs?
I didn't.
You didn't refer?
No, I didn't call any MP a dog. It would be very insulting to the dogs. All right? Because there are traits and qualities in a dog that human beings don't have. We don't have that kind of loyalty, that non-judgment, the kind of unconditional love and devotion that a dog gives. So I don't think human beings are fit to be called dogs. The dogs would be very humiliated. So I didn't call anyone a dog, but if it fits, the coat fits someone and they want to wear it, I can't object, can I?
You're being your caustic self, but I'll go back to what really happened. There've been multiple instances. Like I said, you find yourself very often in the crosshairs of the Treasury benches. It's not the first time, but let's talk about this time with what happened. What made you, because get a stray dog in your car to Parliament? What really happened?
I was on the road heading to Parliament, and opposite Claridge's, that long part of the island, not the main island, a scooterist came in and he turned right abruptly. We didn't hit him, but another car, I think it was one of those smaller cars, that went and hit him.
The dog?
No,
the
hit
scooterist.
the scooterist.
Right.
He just abruptly hit him. We narrowly missed him. So my driver, as a reflex, pulled up to the left and waited, stopped, because it crashed. The car and the scooter crashed. Luckily, that chap had a helmet. He fell down, and the car guy got out. It was quite a loud bang. And as good old Indians, 10 scooters, 30 cars, everybody stops, and there's a huge ruckus, and there's this little creature, tiny thing with its tail tucked, caught in all that, and running around. You could see her visibly shivering and trying to negotiate the crowds and terrified out of its mind. So I did what I thought any decent human being should do, I said, please pick it up before it goes under the tire or it gets killed. And then we looked around, no one came to claim, so I said, put it in the car, I'm getting late for Parliament, drop me at the house and come back. Bring the dog back to the house and we'll wait. And we'll tell people, and if somebody comes to claim the dog, well and good.
So, Ms. Chaudhary, you don't think this was a political stunt? Because many people are reading it as something that Renuka Chowdhury does very often. She's a clickbait MP in Parliament. And this is a political stunt, once again, to, take a pot shot at the government.
Saving a dog, it would
so
save
you
the government's image.
You did it out of...
If really that was the government's image, they desperately need a makeover. So if my bringing a dog to Parliament elevated their status, they should be very lucky.
So you did it at the goodness of your heart? You had no other malice intended?
I'm a dog lover, everyone knows that. I'm an animal lover. We have geese, we have chicken, we have dogs, we have cats. My daughter rescues them perennially, and our home is home to all of them. We also rescue human beings.
Okay, so you bring the dog to Parliament, Ms. Chaudhary, but then you go ahead and say that it's better than the dogs inside.
No, I said the ones who actually bite and sting are inside the house.
And you
this
also
dog
use
doesn't bite.
You also use the term government.
No, I said sarkar chalate hain.
So you intended on clearly the Treasury benches, not your side of the MPs.
No, there are lots of people who chalao the sarkar, and like I say, if the court fits, wear it.
You don't regret it, of what you said? In hindsight, because sometimes you say things which could be misconstrued.
I don't regret it, because it is a fact that the government bites citizens. Look at the mess in the airports today. Today is what, the 3rd or 5th day of Indigo mess. Hundreds, lakhs of passengers are held to ransom. The government makes a statement saying that we're going to keep the prices capped after the damage is done. Nothing like that is happening. You look at the government, the kind of laws they bring in, look at the electoral mess that they have made in the vote Chori issue. So you don't think they're the people who are biting and stinging the citizen? I mean, there's a literal and a metamorphical way of talking.
All right, so you have zero regrets?
No, I have no regrets. I think it was just off-the-cuff witty remark. If they have no sense of humor, they don't. They have a strong sense of humor. That's the problem.
What's the status on a privilege motion that possibly is going to be moved against you?
Waiting and waiting and waiting, and nothing's happening. So
nothing's happened yet, but you're waiting. Do you think it's going to happen this winter session, or they've got enough on their plate?
Frankly, it's not a priority in my life. If they move for privilege, so be it. If they don't move for privilege, it's the dawning of wisdom for them. So
All right. So, but it didn't stop there, Ms. Chaudhary, because again, I'll say, I'm going back to the recent sequence of events, and there is a chronology to it, a word that you use very often sometimes in your tweets. So, chronology dekhiye. What happens is you begin with the fact that you get a dog to Parliament, which, as per the Supreme Court guidelines, you're not supposed to do, even if it's a sterilized dog, in public spaces, in the recent guidelines which have come in. And then, when you're asked that there could be a privilege motion that would be moved against you, your response, many would thought very amusing. We thought it was funny, but clearly there's somebody that didn't think it funny, where you responded with a bow wow.
What do you say? I mean, is this the issue that you'd move for privilege on? I mean, is this even an issue to start with? I mean, we're reeling under pollution. The Supreme Court's not taking cognizance of that. What has the Supreme Court said about that? The lakhs and millions of children with lung issues, senior citizens dying, youth who are being affected because they are the wage earners for this country. They contribute towards the GDP here. None of that is relevant. I rescue a dog, and Supreme Court never said that I can't rescue a dog as a citizen. It is not there. And sometimes the Supreme Court, with due respect to the court, there is a constitutional obligation where we look after our animals. And so sweeping judgments or orders saying, take them and throw them into wherever they say, where the shelters are not there.
Okay, so you clearly are a dog lover.
Yeah,
and you don't, and you know, so
in this winter, and that's a little puppy. It was no threat to anyone.
Okay, so fair point. So you seem to be a dog lover. You did it in the interest. Okay, and then to respond, because a journalist asks you that there's a possibility of a privilege motion, you turn around and you say bow wow, which again.
No, because I mean, hello, I get down, it's over, the whole show is over, I thought, and then I get, oh. What you want to say? There's a privilege motion against you. What you want to say? What does one say?
So you think it's misplaced priorities in terms
absolutely.
of trying to move a privilege motion against you?
Yes.
With what Priyanka
Against
Gandhi
an issue,
also.
a non-issue like that. It's not against me. I'm not afraid.
So you're saying it's a non-issue, like Priyanka Gandhi in her speech, where Vande Mataram was being debated, also said that this is a non-issue. It's implied.
Yes.
Implied that there are bigger issues that needed to be discussed.
No, she never said that.
No, she didn't say it, but she implied that there are other issues that we should be discussing.
More crushing importance has to be given to other issues. And all that this government does from the time they wake up every morning, you know, it's wonderful. There's a story that says how a negative-minded demon always took the Lord's name, and finally he found a place in heaven, and the other devotee asked that, how has he earned a place in heaven? Because he's always been against you. He's asked the Lord. So the Lord said, yeah, but he wakes up every morning and he takes my name. So somewhere in heaven, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru must be also smiling benevolently. This government wakes up every morning, 3 times, 4 times a day. They will take Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's name. These are people who haven't read the history of this country, who have no idea and have a single agenda that they want to be more greater and grander than Pandit Nehru and make people forget Nehru. There's a whole Nehruvian perception in the world. It's going to take more than 11 years and a few elections for people to forget.
Ms. Chaudhary, I'm going to circle back to you now in particular, and I'm going to go back into parliamentary history, where you very recently also suggested that you're going to sue the Prime Minister for calling you Shrupnaka.
No, I never said that.
You never said that.
It's a waste of time. He's my brother. This is a family tie. So it's okay if he calls me Shrupnaka. He's my brother, so he's entitled to a status too.
All right, but you did indicate that you wanted to take action, legal action
at
against
that point,
him. Yeah, which never happened.
I said I will, but then I was very amused that this man who talks so derogatorily about women, and that's the signal we give the roadside Romeos, that it's okay to misbehave with women, and that there are IPC sections and constitutional provisions which protect a woman's dignity, and anything that actually denigrates a woman's status is a crime. It's a punishable crime.
The Treasury benches say at that time you were trying to interrupt his speech constantly.
Because I was so amused at the blatant mistruths that were. I have it on video, if you can show it, where he said that ये कांग्रेस आधार को लेकर झूल रही है or something to that extent. And next thing he's claiming that he was the architect of Aadhaar. I mean, a blatant mistruth in
And
your
that made
face,
you laugh, and that's what was picked up, and therefore...
It was an incredulous expression, that's it.
So, all right, so that's gone, I'll get, why,
Why we are not supposed to question if the highest authority in Parliament talks like that.
No, of course, it's your job to question.
Yes.
You're there for a reason.
Yes.
You're the opposition.
Yes.
But that aside, so why is constantly stress laid on the fact that Renuka Chowdhury likes to stoke a fire, create a controversy?
No, I don't fall into line.
In 2018, you made a statement, Ms. Chowdhury, that the casting couch is not just in the film industry; it's
Yes,
also
it's
in
true.
Parliament.
You mean to
You're
say
again
it's
saying?
not true?
No, I don't know. I'm asking you. I haven't.
Look, I am a woman. I'm a mother, a grandmother. And I thought I saw it all till I became Minister of Women and Child Welfare. And the smartest, the most intelligent, the most well-dressed, the most elite family women walked in through that chamber door because I kept an open door policy. And within 10 minutes of them sitting down, they would break down and weep.
And these
that
were
was the
women
only luxury.
And these were women parliamentarians.
Women bureaucracy, women security personnel, everyone cutting across. The wound is the geography for a woman. Her wound is a geography. And we went to international conferences. We went to China, the Beijing conference, blah, blah, blah. It didn't matter whether you were black, white, yellow, polka dot, pinstriped. The experience was the same.
And you
That
still
men
hold it.
belittle you. They see you as part of their perks, that you have come, left your door safety and come out, so you must be an available woman, and you have to. And there's still laws in so-called developed nations, which say that a woman must wear high heels to work. Why? Why? Is there a rule like that for men to wear elevator shoes?
So you still stick by with what you said then,
Yes.
Ms. Chowdhury, that
women are fair
the casting
play
couch.
Yes, I stand by that. And if anyone
But the casting couch
pretends
is
it
also there in the Parliament.
yes, it is. In
Okay, I
many
just want to.
subtle ways.
I'm asking.
Yes, it is.
I'll
And
ask
if I
you-
don't articulate this, more women become victims. When the Me Too campaign came up, I was relieved. I said, at last women have the courage, the empowerment to come forward and say it as
And most
it
of the
is.
men who were outed at that time have been normalized. They've been,
That is
taken
the
back into
battle.
the system.
Yes, that is the battle that we are facing. That was step one. The journey is still ahead.
I'll ask you a question, Ms. Chowdhury. Do you think one of the main reasons that you've paid the price, where taglines, and I'm guilty of using it as well, where we call you a controversial MP, where there's so much, made and said about you, comes at the price of you being a woman? If Renuka Chowdhury was a man,
Of course.
all of this would not have happened.
Of course.
You think that's...
Yes, that's true.
That is true.
We are judged as women. We are judged as women with a mouth.
Because your laughter, if that laughter was a man's laughter,
it wouldn't have happened like
it
this.
wouldn't have happened like this. It's because you're a woman.
Yeah.
And today a privilege motion is being moved against you because of Bow Wow, because of your being a woman, or you're just a troublemaker?
No, just because I'm a smart
Troublemaker.
person. No, I'm a witty person. I give it as it is. And they have no sense of humor. Like I said, this government has a stronger sense of humor than humor.
I'm going to come down to your party. You've been, you're in the winter session again. And once again, you have the leader of opposition that you've raised many a times that the government is very antagonized about, is going to leave. And he is leaving for an event of the Congress. He's going to be overseas. It's the winter session. When the Bihar elections were there, once again, there was talk of Rahul Gandhi not being around. Why is there this sense of dystopia within the Congress that everything is possibly wrong, with the government? But is there ever a sense of self-reflection that maybe we're not getting it right? Maybe the LOP needs to sit out the winter session.
There's an LOP and all of you are giving it the due respect of being an LOP. Did the government do that? You had Mr. Putin in India And neither Mr. Kharge, one of our tallest Dalit leaders, never mind him being Dalit, but the most competent, the most experienced, a man who's been in public life and never lost an election since he was 26 or something when he first came in as an MLA, 28 perhaps. They won't call them LOPs. They won't invite them for a official dinner.
Ms. Chowdhury, I hear you. There is even there might not be protocol, but there are niceties there are niceties in politics.
Yes, which these crude people.
No,
I'm sorry.
But does it wash away with
it doesn't
your
wash
own
away.
Self-reflection?
No, it doesn't. We do introspect, and Rahul Gandhi is particularly focused on seeing that whatever.
But ma'am, as a journalist, when I sit here and I speak of it, he's not going to be in the winter session because there have been a sizable amount of people that have voted for you. And what we see is, not we, but the people see is accusations. You know, there might be credibility behind it, there warrants investigation, where your vote, Chori, all other accusations that you lay at the doorstep of the government. But one common thread is that there is zero self-awareness and there is a sense of delusion within the Congress that there is nothing wrong with the party. And one of those examples is what I'm giving you today, that the leader of opposition is not going to last out the winter session in Parliament. He's chosen to go and attend an event outside. The same thing happened when Bihar elections were on.
Look, none of you are talking about the walk that he did in Bihar. Do you remember how many manas he actually put on the ground and walked, and the sizable crowds and people that came around? The confidence that he gave to the workers and to the citizen there, that he's there hands-on. How come that's not mentioned in the same breath that he was not there for the Bihar election? When wasn't he there for the Bihar election? He was very much there. As an outsider, he can't be there during the election process.
Right before the election, the run-up to it, 2 weeks. He wasn't.
He was there laying the bare work on the ground, because the workers have to go into the booth areas, do the door-to-door verification, be on the ground. They can't be walking on the streets with Rahul Gandhi.
No, okay, I understand.
So
it's difficult for you.
That is a studied strategic exit that he had to do.
No, Renuka ji, you know, I understand, you know, and this conversation is not going to go anywhere because I can raise multiple questions. You will defend your leader. But I'll come back to the point that I was raising. Let's talk about one of the charges that your party, your leader, you yourself are very vociferous on, and that is vote Chori, where you say that you did all you did for Bihar, but ultimately that election was stolen from you. That is what your official line is. The Haryana election was stolen from you. The Maharashtra election was stolen from you. There's something sinister going on where the election process is concerned, is your charge. How do you justify it then? Because at one end, you come from the, the state that you say that the Bihar election was stolen, yet you celebrate a Jubilee Hill win in Hyderabad.
Yeah, that was a bit excess.
You shouldn't have done that.
No, we celebrate a victory anyway. But that it's a by-election, and we would be worried if we didn't win a by-election being in power. But
Renuka Chowdhury ji, the point is not that. The point is you can't celebrate one win, and then if you lose the other election,
no, I'll tell
then you say that
agree.
It's
now,
a rigged election.
Just
let me allow me to complete the question. Either you take an ideological stand, which has happened before in other countries, and say we just don't believe in the election system. You go and boycott an election. You don't do that. You then choose to celebrate one, and then you say this one we lost, ye to rigged hai. It doesn't work. Two things can't happen together.
I'll tell you one thing. While the whole media is so focused, and the opposition, the ruling party is so focused on deriding and decrying Rahul Gandhi, you've all missed the woods for the trees. Because if you go to see the sequence of events that this government, they're very clever. They're very clever. We have to give it to them. I concede to that they're so intelligent. If you see the sequence of events, what was the step one that they took many years ago? The appointment of election commissioners. Okay, just see how nicely they've laid the graveyard of elections. So what happens in the appointment of election commissioners? That is absolutely politicized. And then you go and you gain majority control over all the appointments. Who do you put in? You remove the CJI. As per the norm and the rule and the practice, you had the Chief Justice of India involved in the electoral process of choosing the election commissioners. He's arbitrarily removed. And who comes in place? Bureaucracy. Do we expect bureaucracy to stand up to a ruling government and say no? No. Very clever. So the first pawn is moved. Then what do? They give legal immunity. They give legal immunity to the Election Commission. So a citizen or a political party cannot move a court, or because they're an autonomous body and the law has been changed. So you have no choice but to sit there and talk about it and do nothing else, because there is no other provision for you to do that. Then what do? Which is given for this official action, the CC footage. Suddenly, the pride and respect for women is so much that we can't show a CC footage of women standing in a political line to vote, for God's sake.
No, I
it's
understand.
Not some changing room.
You've laid out, nobody, I agree that all of this needs to be investigated.
No. I'm saying these are all the structures in place. Then you do mandatory deletion of the CCTV footage. So this evidence, which is evidence for you, has vanished. That has disappeared. Then vote chori starts in Haryana, starts Maharashtra, starts somewhere else. And large sections of votes are removed arbitrarily. The citizen has no right to go anywhere. There is a time lag within which you
Ms.
have
Chowdhury,
to...
I hear you. This is a matter of investigation.
At the end of this,
right.
Bihar election came on the heels.
I think
and we knew that we are not able to move court. We have no legal recourse.
Renuka Chowdhury, I hear you on
Yeah.
this. This needs to be investigated as
Yeah.
a journalist. I do think this needs a court-monitored probe. But
Yes.
having said that, there's a political argument to it. When did the EVMs come in? You know very well they came in the times of Rajiv Gandhi. That is when the EVMs came in. So, now to reject something that you brought on, it's a political argument. The other political arguments is it's not the first time. You've had appointed ECs who you have given tickets to fight elections during the Congress.
Did we remove the
I'm giving multiple. There's a political argument.
Yeah,
but let me turn around and ask you the question that I asked you. You do not believe in this electoral process. Then why is it that the Congress refuses to take a hard stand? Now, there's a dichotomy there and say that, okay, we don't believe in this process, we're not participating in it.
Because the Bihar election came so fast on the heels of setting up all this that the government did, delineating the vote bank of the workers.
Are you not fighting Assam? You will fight Assam. You will fight Bengal.
That we will fight Bengal, we will fight Assam, we'll see.
And then when it turns around, you'll turn around and say, if it does, that this is also...
Yes, I believe that Mamata Banerjee is going to give them a good round fight. Okay?
So that election's not going to be... So that election won't be rigged.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what they do.
Do you understand?
I understand your point of view, but I want you to understand something. Yeah. In the army, we have a saying, never underestimate the enemy. So we are going with all our guns prepared. We don't know about the Assam election or the West Bengal election. I'm not going to preempt anything by saying anything now what we are going to do. Okay. We will do what we will do at the right time.
Okay.
But having said that, it is our collective responsibility, both yours and mine, to establish how insidiously the instruments of democracy are being removed. Suddenly you're shy to give footage. Then you delete footage. That is allowed.
No, like I said, I hear you on a lot of points.
How does the court even accept this?
But the point is that the Congress party takes this high moral ground.
No, it's not moral, it's legal ground.
The party does take a high moral ground, refuses to reflect on its own. You've been missing in a lot of elections. You don't have your, your alliances right. You don't have your ticket distribution right, which happened in Bihar as well. But I'm just, I understand. It's
no,
like
we have stumbled. I'm not saying no.
And then either you decide you don't believe in an electoral system, but if you believe, then
no, we have to fight for it.
Then you have to fight for it.
We don't give up and vacate the compound and push away. I don't think we should do that.
So you'll continue to fight elections.
We will continue to fight.
Okay.
On different platforms and different levels.
But whether you will fight an election, the coming one, is still up for discussion.
No, that is something that we will collectively take. It's not some individual who takes a point of view, unlike the BJP. So, here we have a little more democracy where we talk and we disagree.
Some would say your party has too much democracy.
Perhaps quite possible, because what happens over a period of time, we are the oldest party that's been there. And sometimes we take things for granted, or sometimes we don't respond in time. And we have stumbled, we have slipped on certain fronts, but then there is also a grassroots revival and setting things in place. And it will take that inertia will take some momentum before.
I'm going to touch on that, and I'm going to invite you for a longer discussion on my podcast. But this is a smaller, shorter interview, so I'm running out of time. But I'm going to ask you 3 questions. You talk about that there is a system in place to revive the Congress. There is also, I was interviewing Digvijayji the last time, and he says, there is also time now for the old guard to let go. And you're the old guard.
Old in what sense?
The old guard.
I don't know what old guard
I'm not going to try and make an ageist joke.
I think it's very wrong to label people with age or something.
I don't want to sound ageist, but there is a constant friction within the Congress between the old and the new. That the old needs to give way to the new.
That's true of any change. Change is eternal and perpetual. It will happen.
So is the old guard now sticking on and refusing to let go of what the old systems and workings of the Congress
How much of the old guard is left behind? Tell me.
I'm asking.
There's a very minimal lot who are left behind. And I don't think we should sneer or jeer at them, because
no, I'm not. You are part of the old guard.
Yeah, I don't think I'm old or young or new or anything like that. I think I'm a Congress worker, and that's eternal. And I will work for the party, and I think we should be able to bridge that with a younger enthusiasm. But I was a young worker at one time, with all our fervor and zeal, and sometimes we
which
don't
you still have.
Yeah, touch wood. But we do. But we now we are well rounded. All our sharp edges have gone, and so we are well rounded now. And so we know a little more calculation, a little more weighing pros and cons, and how to negotiate. So it works. It works. I have young workers who've been with me for the past 25 years. I'm proud to tell you that I have never paid them a single pie.
And they're doing it of their own volition.
They will. And they, at the grassroots level, they are valiant warriors. When I first met them, I told them, I said,
it's going to take a while before, at least...
yeah, that momentum catches up. And I'm delighted
that
to tell you.
the old guard steps down. It's going to be a while.
You'll see what's happening inside the BJP. That's going to... There are many implosions which they suppress and
that's
they don't
the problem.
tell.
The point is that the Congress will keep enjoying and...
No.
We'll relish what's going on in the BJP while their own house is on fire.
No. We are not fiddling in Rome. We are watching and we are taking
this conversation has gone on for half an hour. We must do it a longer format. But let me ask you, you talk about too much democracy. I spoke about it and you agreed that possibly. Is Shashi Tharoor a product of too much democracy?
That's a question you need to ask him. He's very articulate and he has many tongue-twisting words which can describe the situation that he's in.
How would you describe?
Shashi Tharoor benefited vastly from associating with the Congress party. And he has his own fan following, no one's denying that. I don't know how good his political acumen is. And there's always a price to pay. There are no free lunches.
What free lunch is he looking at?
I'm just saying it's a statement of facts that nothing comes free. So this kind of what he's doing while pretending that it's all very altruistic and very deshbhakt and all that, hasn't gone down well. It's actually hurt his image, I feel.
With whom? With the people?
With the people.
The Congress, for sure.
And Congress, okay, we are used to this. If you look at...
That's the problem. You should have suspended him by now.
And you look half of the BJP...
But you should have suspended him by now then.
It's not always a black and white situation.
Okay.
All right? And we will bide our time. And it will, whatever has to happen will happen.
Till the time he decides to do what he does.
Well, why isn't he doing it then?
Okay.
There's also a question. Why isn't he doing it then? If he thinks that whatever he aspires for, he has a fair this thing in saying, I want this, I want that. He expects certain recognition and all.
Where Kerala is concerned,
sorry?
Where Kerala is concerned.
Not just Kerala, he also contested for Congress party president, and no one denied him that right. We said, go ahead and fight. He lost. He lost in the UN as well, if you remember. He won in Kerala because the Kerala Congress workers so committed and devoted, and we have wonderful grand men on the ground there like Ramesh
There's an election coming up there as well.
No, we have Ramesh Channitala and we have other
Clearly you
great
picked a
guns.
side. Okay.
No, I have no sides in Kerala. What am I doing in Kerala? But known faces,
Okay.
you know, people who know. You say the name and there are 10 people who say yes.
So it's
who
a
know
wait and
him.
watch
So
for Mr.
it's
Khan.
what, and you have Mr. K.C. Venugopal who's running the whole country as
Country?
GSO in terms of Congress, countrywide.
Okay. And there's a fair amount of criticism for him as well.
Yeah,
We had
of
Captain
course.
Amrinder Singh, who I interviewed last week, and who didn't have very good things to say about Mr. K.C. Venugopal.
There'll always be someone, do people say nice things about me? No, they don't.
Okay.
But does it alter me or does it change me or my belief systems or my capacity to do something?
Okay.
I work also. I work as efficiently as I hit back. So it's okay. It's part of the game. It goes with the turf.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Chaudhary, for taking the time out, and I hope to get you back on a longer and easier conversation in my podcast.
Unless
but thank you.
by that time the government goes to dogs. So you have to look out and be careful.
I'm not saying anything. No,
You
but
can't.
thank you.
I can.
Yeah, you can. But thank you. Thank you for taking the time out. I appreciate it. Thanks.